Honorable Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas, Shri Dharmendra Pradhan Ji, Shri Anil Rajdhan, Dr. Fesharki, Mr. G.C. Chaturvedi. Because of this World Petro Coal Congress, I am virtually coming out of a hibernation of nearly 3.5 months since I left handling the Ministry of Coal in October 2014, and maybe this is perhaps the first public forum in which I am being given an opportunity to address. Having said that, one has been following the developments which have been taking place in the coal sector as well as in the energy sector. And what one has gone through from June 2012 to October 2014, one can definitely say that there appears to be a very strong element of positivity with regard to coal. The period which I saw, to use a Bismarckian term, was a period of containment, and now is the period of real growth. We were not, during that period, because of the litigation which was going on, we were not very certain as to what should be the direction in which especially the coal blocks would move. There was no problem with regard to the increase in the production of Coal India, but then you can't simply depend on Coal India, and therefore we needed this multidimensional approach to make coal available in the system. One was to a certain extent involved in the drafting of the ordinance when one left the ministry in October 2014, but after that there has been a lot of more developments in that field, and only yesterday, as I read in the papers today morning, 2 coal blocks, the auction have been finalized. And that definitely is a great achievement. At the outset, one must say that in the planning process, what we had, the projections with regard to coal, and what Mr. G.C. Chaturvedi, my eminent predecessor in the Petroleum Ministry, mentioned, that earlier we thought that 2020 we would still be hovering around 75 to 80% contribution to the energy sector from coal. But it appears that with the greater focus on the renewables, and one must say that it is a very happy coincidence that on one side you are having a conference on petrocoal, on the other side you are having a conference on renewables. Renewables as it stands today is contributing about 5 to 6%. And it is expected that with the type of a strategy and the policies and the fiscal measures and the incentives and the stress and priority which is being given to the renewables, it is expected that it may touch somewhere around 15%. If it does, then because still the attachment to the earlier sector remains with me, it will be a great blessing for the coal sector because it will reduce the dependence and therefore the pressure which is there on coal. Having said this, an energy security is supposed to be premised on the basic natural endowments of the country. And India, in a way, is blessed with vast resources of coal reserves. And therefore, in order to follow a path of high economic growth, while we may lay a stress a lot on renewables, but there is no substitute and there should not be a substitute, coal will have to have the predominant position with regard to the economic growth of the country over at least the next 20 to 30 years, if not beyond. Because that is the natural endowment, that is the unique advantage, that is your USP vis-a-vis energy security is concerned for the country as a whole. And this is my personal firm belief, that we have to really remain with our focus on coal as an important pillar and a fulcrum for energy security. Very briefly, because as the compere said that he's running short and she's running short on time, I'll just touch on one or two other aspects and just touch on them. We are seeing, as far as Coal India is concerned, and coal production is not something which changes over a period of, say, 2 to 3 months. It changes because of the consequential actions which take place over a period of 1, 2, 3 years. We are seeing that Coal India has improved its coal production. It had reached a peak of about 8% somewhere around November. It is now stabilizing around 6%, and one expects it to be somewhere end the year with 6 to 7%. In order to achieve a billion-ton target, it has to really focus on a growth rate of 13%, to be more precise, 12.8%, for which the planning is going on. Evacuation becomes very important. At the same time, the clearances also have to be sorted out. As I said, we just had the auction. At the same time, one will have to be very conscious of the long-term sustainability of what comes out of this auction process. Long-term sustainability not of coal, long-term sustainability of the end users. Because a very quick analysis of the two blocks which went in, one was an underground block, totally underground block, which had an NPV of 150, which went for 1,402. Then there was a reverse bidding of 478. That means that that party has to pay, with a zero-cost coal, 378 rupees per ton of coal with regard to the power sector. So one will have to, the financial institutions whose money is at stake will have to keep a very careful watch as to how the auction process evolves, develops. But it's definitely a very, very significant development, and one must really compliment the way it has been structured and the way it has come out in a very short time. Because what one is given to understand is that about 110 blocks will be through by June, and the remaining out of the 204 which was stuck up in litigation will be through by next year. Now, that definitely means that a lot of pressure is taken off Coal India. So in the end, I would once again compliment the organizers of the World Petrocoal Congress, and especially Mr. Razdan and Dr. Garg, for giving me this opportunity of speaking a few words on the coal sector and the energy sector. Thank you very much.